Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Hungry Bleak Show, your go to spot for the best in the Black indie geek culture community. I am Antonio Pomares, and look, folks, I don't even know what words to use. Oh, first off, how are you doing? Great. How's your week been? Did you have things you had to do? You did? You did. That's wild. That's how are the kids, loved ones? Really? I look. That's how life is, right? Sometimes yeah, okay. So how's work going? You know, they be doing that sometimes. They be doing those things sometimes. So that's look, yeah, fine. You go straight. Okay. So look, this episode, look, I've had a just a wonderful steady stream of incredible guests, and today like is no anomaly on it. We're just gonna keep the train rolling on this incredible stream that we're having here going. So this cat, I don't even know how to even give him an introduction. He's one of artists example is so prolific and empowering and aspiring and just incredibly beautiful and diabolical both at the same time. He's and one of the best profile pics on all of social media. Let me say that pic is everybody because anytime I see that pic, it's always on a status that some BS is going on, and the pic references the BS going on, and it's perfect. I couldn't have done any better, and I probably couldn't because I don't even try. So this gentleman is an artist, writer, um, like I said, the creator, writer, and artist for the comic DayBlack, one of the most beautiful, visceral comics ever, in my opinion, to be out there, and for it to hit a genre like horror and vampires, and for it to be in the Black community and have such a vibe and a flow to it is incredible. Y'all already know who I'm talking about. Why am I still talking? We need to hear from him. Y'all don't want to hear from me anymore. You don't, right? I don't blame you. I wouldn't know too. So, folks, please give it up for Keef Cross. Keef.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me, man.
Sir, how are you doing today?
Crazy intro. Thank you.
Well, how are you doing today? First off,
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm excited to be on here, man. I'm excited to talk with you, man.
look. I'm going to tell you this. This doesn't happen to me very often, but in these, geek culture streets and Black indie community and everything, I don't get really geeked out by anybody. I see people, oh, great, yeah, I love work, what have you. You're one of probably 5 people that I geek out and I try to avoid your table because I don't want to look like a goofball.
Wow.
I saw you at the Schomburg and I was like, oh, snap, Keef. Nope. And I turned around.
Look, I saw you too, and I was like, yo.
I'll do because you're one of those people. Nah. It was all me, bro. It was all me. It's you, Eric Alexander, Ariel Johnson, Brandon Thomas, and there's a couple other people on there, but y'all are the ones that I'm like, I'll go, hey, and I'll just start sweating immediately and I'll run off, like, because it's just y'all just your work hits me in such a way where I'm like, oh my god, I want to talk to you about it, but I don't want to seem goofy, so let me go the other way.
Wow. Okay.
That's what it is. It's a compliment, but it sounds weird, and I understand.
That's what it was. Okay, cool.
It is, yeah. But and I said, oh snap, Keef, yeah, because I think you had some stickers too or something that I wanted to get. I can't remember what it was exactly I wanted to get from you, and I was like, nah. Today's not. I'm not there today. I'm not. But dude, I've loved your work for so long, and DayBlack is one of the most beautiful books.
Thank you.
I've seen, and the art, it reads, the way it reads is almost like a fairy tale in how it's formatted. It's not your typical comic in that way, and that's one of the things that sticks in my head. It reads like a fairy tale, like a cautionary tale, and your art is like poetry even without the words. And I feel that.
Thank you.
But before we start talking about it, I'm gonna show the folks a little trailer that you made for DayBlack, excuse me, Reparations. Folks, please check this out because it's just off the chain.
man Jamal, shout out to Jamal York that put that together for me, my man.
That was incredible. I love that. I love that. Everything that goes with it. But for those who do not know, please tell us a little bit about the world of DayBlack.
Yeah, absolutely. So DayBlack is the story of my main character. His name is Merce. He was an enslaved man who was bitten by a vampire in the cotton fields. Um, Fast forward to present day, he works as a tattoo artist as a way to collect blood. And he has a tattoo machine where he rigged it to where whenever he does a tattoo, as the machine pushes ink into the skin, it's actually sucking blood out. And that way he's able to feed on people and have return customers without necessarily killing them. And it's just his way of kind of coping with being in like a midlife crisis for a vampire that's been like living for hundreds of years and has pretty much done everything you can do. In this stage of his life, he's kind of settled in. He just wants to live below the radar, and he lives in this town where the sky is so polluted with just thick smog that it blocks out the sun. So he's able to walk around day or night. Hence the name DayBlack. In a nutshell.
Yeah, I remember the reading it and like again going through it, and it was just so. I love how Merce describes everything that's happening and giving his story without it seeming like this overdump of exposition.
Right.
It feels right, and I'm a vampire fan, and this has been a great week for vampires. I mean, as far as like DayBlack Reparations. We've got Castlevania Nocturne, the new Blade series coming out from Marvel, not a TV series, but a new series. Yeah, no. Believe me, if that was the case, yeah,
okay,
I would be on that. So it's been a great week for vampires. So a great week for me,
right on.
honestly. And this is I love the ingenuity of it too, of the town of DayBlack and the smog. The tattoo needle is such a great idea for him to go, well, and why he does it, and saying because of HIV and everything coming out and how it was designed to kill vampires and how it affects them, and for him to go, well, I need a different way to do this, all while still servicing the community,
right,
as far as tattoo, but also feeding himself. It all blends so well, and the story goes so much deep. Also, love his coffin with all the stickers on it. I love picking out the stickers and going through there. What was the inspiration for DayBlack?
Well, I was a tattoo artist for about 22 years. I retired a few years ago, and just from those times, and it just lets you, when you mention the machine being to like because of HIV blood and everything, like it really just goes to show you how long I've been working on this. Because when I wrote that, like HIV was really, it's not what it is today. You know what I'm saying? It's not like back then. It was like, oh shit, it's HIV. But now people are really living long lives and like having treatment. So it's not really the death sentence that it was when I wrote that. So I've even kind of retconned that a little bit going forward to just kind of just leave it to like just bloodborne diseases in general. But initially the story just came from meeting customers, listening to these wild stories they would tell me, and just these things that I probably shouldn't even be privy to. But when you're a tattoo artist, people are vulnerable, and people are, yeah, right. People talk, and you're an impartial ear, so they kind of tell you a lot of stuff. So some stuff would be so wild, and some people would be so admirable, and some people would be so deplorable. You know what I'm saying? You just kind of got a full spectrum, and so I just started to document all of these people and their instances and their perspectives, and it kind of just morphed into this character. And it really just came from a drawing. I saw a drawing of Mos Def. He was looking real cool in a fedora, and I just sketched it out in cartoons. Like, okay, I like how this looks. So I just kind of stuck with that look. And he was always in the back of my mind, kind of been the prototype, like if it was ever going to be live action or something like that. But so take that and couple it with my love for vampires as well, but also being in a tattoo culture, it really has a subculture of its own, where I was actually associates with people that lived that they were actual vampires. I knew people that actually shaved their teeth down and drank blood, their own blood, people that would give them blood. Like it was really a whole thing, and it really made me see that a person that was a vampire could easily walk about and not really stand out that much, because there are people that are humans that are really living like stereotypically think a vampire would be like. So I took that. I took even the slavery aspect. You know, I remember when I was first doing it, I got a little pushback, like, "Oh, not another slavery." You know, but initially it came from watching Interview with a Vampire, and there was a scene where Lestat and Louis were in New Orleans, I believe. They were in some kind of antebellum South setting, and they were feeding on the slaves, and the slaves eventually revolted against them and burned them out of their houses, so they had to run out of there and leave. So in my mind, I was like, okay, there's a story there. Like, what happened to these people that they were feeding, or what happened to the aftermath of that? So that's what gave me the idea of setting it in that time period, because when I started to really take it seriously as a book, I had a log line, or really a goal, and I wanted to take a man and deliver him from one form of slavery right into a new form of slavery, which would be, you know, being undead. So I just wanted him to like not really ever really have a break in life, just from one horror to a new horror, you know. That just happened to place us in slavery, you know. Like, DayBlack isn't really, it doesn't go into that life that much, you know what I'm saying? I think we've seen so much. I can't offer too much more than to just let you know that he comes with that baggage already. And as far as the hip hop, I just like, you know, just writing the book, it was just a way for me to do whatever I wanted to do. Just make the type of book I wanted to read, and just, I wanted him to be basically an extension of me, to say just things that I don't necessarily want to say or couldn't say to people. I said it through him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
and just his musical taste or my taste. And it's just really therapeutic. It's like really not, it's like not having to shrink, but you're really talking to your work. You know what I'm saying? And you're really filtering your feelings and your outlook on life through your work. And it goes through the filter and it comes out as a story or as his perspective, you know? So it's just all of that, I guess, which inspired it. And then when I saw people were really taking it seriously, just for me uploading pictures to Facebook every day, and until I was approached to get it published, and I was like, all right, cool. So that's when I really took it serious, and just kind of stepped everything up, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it starts out with that bit of slavery, but it doesn't go deep into it, and that's the beauty of it. But also to have a black vampire that has had all these different like careers, that he's even talk about different careers. He's like, now I'm a tattoo artist, and finding a way for that to fill. And I love the fact that you're saying that it was kind of like you like projecting, you know, what's going on, but to fact that but also saying about the subcultures. Because I watched like, you know, some shows where it talks about, you know, like the subcultures of vampires and subcultures that are in tattoo and everything like that. And you can see that, like, even when they have like trying to think of what series in the Blade movie, I think Blade 2, and there was a movie recently as well where they show like a subtext where they're in, you know, their dens, what have you, getting tattoos and also feeding and everything like that. So even to have it in that way, I mean, but they're actual, like, I mean, not to say that there are real vampires out here. I don't know everything that's going on.
Right.
I don't.
Right. Who knows?
But to say that, I actually love that fact of having all of that together and then bringing it with, again, a black cast, which we don't have a lot of. We have more now, but at that time we didn't have a lot of black vampire or black horror books like this.
Right.
So again, DayBlack was one of those ones that was at the forefront doing it, which is beautiful. Now, DayBlack Reparations. This is the third book in this. The third, I should say, the third like trade collection in the series. Correct?
It is. I wouldn't say because Volume 1 and Volume 2, they both have 3 issues collected.
Okay.
This one is really just one issue that ended up being the length of a graphic novel. So I didn't plan it that way, but it just kept coming out, you know, and really. And the funny thing is, I had a copy of this. It was up for a little while, right when I was at the last end of the publisher I was with at the time. We had DayBlack issue number 7. We actually had it on Peep Game. It was out for a little while, but it got like 0 push. It got like 0 promotion. So 2020, I got a kidney transplant. That was a time where I just kind of, everything felt like it was on the back burner. I just parted ways with my publisher. I was feeling really like, am I even going to do this anymore? There was a lot of self-doubt going on. Couple that with the recovery process. So basically, I had to get over these things. When I looked, and then when I finally got out of that haze, and I really looked at the book again, I was like, man. And also during COVID, I taught myself how to draw digitally, which for the first time ever, all my stuff before that was just pen, ink, Xerox, scanning, all of that. So I finally taught myself how to draw digitally, and it was like the clouds opened up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was like it was literally like the difference of using a candle for light versus flipping on a light switch. That's literally what it was like.
Wow.
So from that point on, I was like, okay, now I really want to get back into DayBlack. So I looked back at that issue, and I was like, man, this looks like crap. All of this looks like crap. So I told Imani from Peep Game Comics, I'm like, take that issue down. Nobody's even gonna know it was there. Take it down, and I'm gonna just revamp the whole thing. So I took that issue down. So if anybody has that issue, you got a collector's item, because that was the issue where I had enough. You know what I'm saying? And I was kind of, and this issue, Reparations, is more like a rebirth for me, and like it's like me reaffirming my love for the genre, my love for doing it, and this newfound self-confidence I've gotten from just learning a new art form, and I just feel like, not to go ahead, I don't want to keep rambling, because I'll ramble, man. So I don't want to keep talking.
That's cool. First off, huh?
I say, if that answered the question.
Yeah, it definitely does. First off, I'm glad that you got your transplant. I've talked about, my issues with my kidney that happened about 5 years ago.
Okay.
And I got lucky with what happened, but I had like 3 things at once trying to kill me.
Wow.
I don't even, it happened, and I just, it's a whole other thing. Anyway, you know what I mean? So congratulations on that. And also congratulations on, during the pandemic, teaching yourself a new skill, and you being like, wow, this is totally, and it changing so much for you. And again, sparking that interest, that fire in you to go, wait, I need to do this. This can be something different. Yeah. I mean, congratulations on that as well, because that's so huge. I mean, during the pandemic, like I learned more about the aspect of the recording and doing this. So coming out of it with new skills that help you, that kind of, fire you up again, is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And
the irony of even coming out of a situation like that better than you went into it is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was really like fearful, didn't really know what was going to happen.
Yeah, and you're sitting there going, well, I guess I got time.
Yeah,
I got time,
man. And it was
I ain't going nowhere.
It was such a blessing, man, because I really didn't know. Like, I didn't know if
Mm-hmm.
I was on meds that were making me react weird. Like, I just didn't know what the future held. And then getting dropped by your publisher, it's like, whoa, like, am I really even that good? Like, am I as good as I think I am? So it was a lot of self-doubt. So yeah. COVID really gave you the chance to really look at yourself in the mirror and, unflinchingly, because you had nothing else to do. So I'm thankful for everything that happened. Like, I'm thankful for everything that happened that got me to this point. It couldn't have happened any other way. I appreciate it all.
Yeah, it definitely was a time for us to assess it. I mean, it was a terrible tragedy, but it gave us time to assess ourselves and really look and go, what am I doing? Where am I at? What can I do to make myself better? I mean, I have time. I'm inside. I've streamed everything that I can stream. I watched everything already. Right. I beat all my games finally. I mean, I read everything. I mean, I might as well do this.
Right. Exactly.
So that's a beautiful thing. So let's take a look at the Kickstarter page for DayBlack. So, I mean, obviously, it's going to be awesome. I mean, you've seen the trailer, folks. And it's beautiful. Now, can you tell us about just a little bit of the story of Reparations without telling us too much?
Yeah. So basically, the story is about Merce's mother. If anybody knows Merce, that's our lead character. Antonio, hold on 1 second. All right. I just need
Yep.
Back charged. Hope you can edit this out. Okay, yes. So DayBlack Reparations, basically we're picking up where the end of volume 3 left off at. And it's where Merce is meeting his mother for the first time. His mother is the one who bit him in the cotton fields. And for the first couple volumes, she's pretty much presented as the villain, or just somebody like a shadowy figure who we don't really know what her intentions are, but we know that she's haunting him in some kind of way. So with this one, I really wanted to do one of those issues where it just kind of steps back from what we've been seeing from further issues, and just kind of take a detour and just kind of go into her life and to see to see what she went through to really make her get the perspective that she had, which would make her be perceived as a villain, because she wasn't really a villain. She was, it's the classic villain trope, like they're relatable, you know what I'm saying? Like you really
Exactly.
like you see what she went through. Oh, I can't really blame her for doing what she's doing, It was really, for me, it was more about, and I guess when I wrote it, excuse me, I was in a more of a place of just wanting to further my storytelling skills. I really wasn't interested in really furthering the story as much as I was, and just kind of living in a moment for her, and just really trying to flesh out her character as a young, beautiful girl. She was a mute. She couldn't speak. Her. I don't want to tell the story away, but basically, she went through some things. Just imagine during slavery, you have a girl who's basically a step from being albino. Bright blonde, red dreadlocks. She just stood out. She was beautiful, but on top of that, she was also very mysterious. She had ties to, the local Paleros, and just it's a little spirituality, a little voodoo, for the lack of a better word, influence there. I took a lot of influences from movies like Beloved and movies like Angel Heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I really wanted it, but then at the same time, this was my first time writing from the perspective of a woman, and I knew I really had to be very careful with that, especially in the times we're living in now. Like sometimes you want to express yourself, but any misstep or any can be like looked at as something else. So I really knew I had to be careful and really not go too deep, but just kind of do what I could while still being respectful to the fact that I'm not a woman. I don't know what it's like to be a woman, so I had conversations with my wife. I had conversations with women that had been through what she had gone through on a certain level. So this, for me, it was an experiment, not only artistically to see where I was, but also storytelling wise, to just see, like most of my pieces, like most of the stories, I don't really look at them. I look at all of my books like pieces of art, like, because I'm a fine artist first, I'm an illustrator first. So a lot of times, even when I do comics, sometimes I don't feel like I'm a comic book artist. Sometimes I just feel like I'm an artist that made a comic book, because I can't necessarily, I don't know if I've never had to, but I've never been able to do these deadlines or listen to this direction, or I've never really collaborated with anybody other than Newton and Greg. Shout out to my brothers, man. They always include me and stuff, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, damn, just like that, I forgot what I was saying. I knew when I started talking about Newton and Greg, I was going to lose. But I had to shout them out, man. What was I saying, man?
You were talking about writing as a man, writing a character that is a woman and being respective of it, and the conversation that you had with your wife and the women in your life.
Yeah. So, and once I got the okay from them, and then of course, those movies were heavily influential just to set a mood that I was looking for. I just really wanted to feel like a Southern Gothic. I really wanted it to feel otherworldly but sympathetic, and it's just a piece of art, man. So I really wanted to okay, yeah, that's what I was talking about. So my storytelling, I feel like, is informed by my artwork and vice versa. So I feel like this story was very visceral more than anything else. I really just wanted to get a vibe or a feeling. Yeah. So yeah, that's.
I mean, you definitely. I really respect the fact that you wanted to get the writing of a female character down. So you didn't just go, oh, well, this is what would happen. You actually went and spoke to women about their experiences, and you know, and said okay, and got the okay
Yeah.
from them. That's very important. So I honestly respect that, because a lot of cats would have just went ahead and just wrote something as a man writing a woman, and not really going into the certain nuances and things in depth, and maybe the feel of it. Because the biggest thing with your art, for me anyway, is that there's a feeling in there. Any art piece that I've seen from you, whether it's been Merce, whether it's been Baldwin,
Mm-hmm.
there's a feeling in there. That Baldwin shirt is hot too. That might be my Christmas present to myself, because I saw it comes in purple. Don't think I didn't notice that.
Yes.
I think I saw that, brother. So I always appreciate your art, because when I see it, there's a feeling there. So for you to take that time and to ask these women, what do you think, like their opinions and of their experiences, is a beautiful thing, honestly.
And then it's also about loving your characters too.
Yes.
Like I love LaRue. That's her name,
Mhm.
LaRue, by the way. I love her, man, and I love. I've been with her so long, and she's evolved so much that she's finally getting the spotlight. I just really wanted to make sure I did her right. And yeah, I want to take. This is gonna sound corny, but I just wanted to take the time and care with her that she didn't get in life. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of as her author, as her father.
Damn, bro. That was that's not corny. That's a deep, but that shows that author, that creator love.
Mm-hmm.
Because your creations in books, comics, your art, those are still your babies.
Absolutely.
And you want to take care of them, even if you're going to do, whatever to the characters. You still want to take them and say, this is your journey, this is what you're going to go through, but I'm going to give you this, and I'm going to make sure that's as authentic as possible, and I do you the justice you deserve.
Yeah.
So I mean, that definitely shows it. Now I'm showing on the screen now some of the rewards that you'll have for for the Kickstarter, which there are a plethora in here. You never stop with your art, truthfully.
Yeah, and I just wanted to make sure I had plenty of stuff on there, and just in case somebody didn't want to read a comic book and they just wanted some stuff, like here's some stuff too, stuff.
I mean, yeah, I as a fan of yours, I mean, I have the T-shirt. I'm not wearing the T-shirt. I mean, you know what? I didn't want to be the cat. Let me go off the screen for a second. I didn't want to be the cat that was gonna have your stuff all on the camera and everything while I was talking about. Just let me just say this real quick.
Right. Don't be that guy, man.
I don't want to be the guy at the concert wearing the band of the shirt. You know what I mean? Who wants to be that cat that's doing that? Who wants to do that? Let me show. Let me to do it from the other side too. Who wants to do that?
So glad you're not that guy.
Some pretentious jerk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Who does that?
I hate that.
So, now as of today, as of speaking, because this is pre-recorded, folks. Obviously, y'all know I like to pre-record my shows more than do live, because live always feels awkward and rushed. But as of this show, you're going to have today. You have 27 days, but today is Wednesday, correct? No, Tuesday.
Yes.
So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Ahsoka,
so you'll have
Tuesday, man. Ahsoka tonight.
You know what, bro? I'm behind on. I don't even want to talk, because there's so much that comes out every hour. I feel like there's like 5 things that come out every hour, and I can't keep up.
You're right.
I have to finish the last season of Mandalorian, and then I know, and then I have to watch it. So I know, but I decided to rewatch the last 2 episodes of season 2, and then go from there, because I really wanted to rewatch, because it had been a while since I've seen them. And I started watching them. I was like, my blood started firing up again. I was like, damn, yeah. This is because I have to go through that. There's so much, man. Invincible's going to be coming back soon. I don't know if I'm gonna watch Gen V. I'm really not. The boy.
I watched the first episode. It's crazy.
I know it's gonna be crazy because it's The Boys, so I know I'm just gonna see some wild mess. But I don't know if I want to see young.
I was gonna say it's crazy, but it still has that melodrama to where I'm like, like age banter. So outside of the effects and the gruesomeness, you're still stuck with like a teenage high school, which I don't even know if I might watch the second episode just to see if they can shock me again, but it's too much stuff out. You really got to pick and choose like what you're going to stick with,
Yeah, I don't. And also, what tomorrow's new comic book day? I think there's like 3 comic books I got. Yeah, there's there's New York Comic Con New Week, which I'm trying to get myself prepared for that. It's a lot. It's a lot going on.
Yes.
So as of this Friday, you will have what will it be? It'll be 3 days. So 24, 23 days for the Kickstarter. I'll have the episode in the episode description. I'll have the link for the Kickstarter because, folks, there's a lot of great stuff in here. I definitely recommend you get a T-shirt and a mug. But don't be that person. Don't be that person that's going to have the mug all on the camera. Don't be that person, please. As I said, my beverage, don't do that. A lot of great T-shirts, but also you'll have the chance to catch up on the story if you haven't read it yet, because you have volumes 1 and 2 as rewards for the Kickstarter as well, both in print and in digital. Yes. So if you don't have space for books, what have you, and you want to have them on your trusty tablet, your phone, you can read them anywhere. You can get the digitals, which is incredible. And there's so much there. It's such a deep wealth of story that if you like horror and the antebellum feel in the South, that you'll get that. And also you have this character that is so relatable. And it would, like, even if you're not a vampire, what have you, there's a character so relatable and what they're going through. And the love that Keef puts into these characters and into the story really shows. It really comes out in this, not just the art, but the words. And like I said, the way it's formatted, it just feels so different. And that's what really catches my eye with it, and I love it. So please go and put in for DayBlack Reparations. It's just, I can't say enough about Keef's art and his work. I honestly can't.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, bro.
I mean, for real. But as a Black man, as a creative, there's a lot that's on you, creative wise and just society wise and anything, what have you. What's something that you do as a self-care thing for yourself? What helps to keep you grounded as a human being?
Man, that's a good question, man. And before, we just bought a house this year, so I finally have a studio space, which before a lot of my stuff will be created like at the kitchen table or just around my family, which, if you have kids, you kind of know it's hard to just kind of focus on something when there's like stuff going around. So my studio, really for me, and the funny thing is my self-care is also the same as what causes me to need self-care, which is creating. Because, sometimes you could have so many projects that you can get stressed out, but I'm only at peace when I'm creating, So okay. It's like, but, it's different when you're creating for other people than when you're creating for yourself. So a lot of times I'll get so caught up on the assembly line of commissions and taking people's input and just trying to make a diamond out of coal from their ideas that you really have to sit back and just really create and focus on something for yourself. And I will say that that right there in itself was the main reason that I quit tattooing, because it started to wear thin on me that like people would come in and ask me to do the type of artwork that, in my opinion, was below me. That's my artist ego coming out. Like, I'm doing shows, I'm doing shows in art galleries, but the type of tattoos I'm doing, like, hey, let me get a picture of Donald Duck smoking a blunt, holding a blunt, with that stuff working next to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so then drawing it up for him and getting criticized, looking at it like, you could have did. I'm like, bro. So for me, it just wore thin, and I was like, okay, I feel like creativity is not something that we have an endless supply of. I feel like we have a reservoir of a certain amount of it in our life, and I don't think it ever disappears, but I think it does dwindle, and I think it does fade and lose potency. I just felt like that was happening to me there. So, and just to relay that back to doing stuff like doing so much commission work for other people and just like pulling these ideas out for other people. Self-care for me is just like backing up, might smoke me a joint, play me my favorite music, you know what I'm saying? Just sit quietly and paint, you know what I'm saying? I just might get a canvas and just let the brush go where it wants to go, and just that's my space, that's my. Sorry if this is a family show, but I'm being truthful. That's really my self care. That's my routine. I probably should do more. Are you frozen?
No, I'm not from. No. I'm just really into what you're saying. I'm just no. I'm sorry.
He's not blinking.
So my face is just dead because I'm just zoning into what people are saying.
Right.
I really take it.
Yeah. So
my fault. I'll blink mad more. Let's let you know I'm good. I'm good.
I just didn't want to keep talking if you were so. But yeah, that's it, man. But living that tattoo life, man. I'm happy to be home with my kids. I'm happy to be home with my wife. I'm just happy for the domesticness of all of it because, I was just in my 20s and my 30s, I was just out there, man. I'm just glad. It's nice to be anchored somewhere where I could just create peacefully. I could support my family through my artwork. Really, when my family is happy, that's the ultimate self-care for me. Like if I know kids got it, wife got it. Like even when I get like a lot of money, like even if I get like a lump sum of money, the weird thing about me is I don't really want anything. You know what I'm saying? All I really want to do is draw on my iPad. So having money and knowing that my family can get it whenever they need, whatever they need, I got it. That's my self-care. Like that's I feel replenished. I feel like, it feels like, it's the greatest feeling in the world to just be able to provide for your family and comfortably doing what you want to do. And especially when you do something like art, because something about people never really fully respect what you do. Like I'm over here, I'm always drawing at my table. I'm always drawing, I'm always sketching. To them, it's like, oh, Dad's over there because they know I love to draw too. So they don't think I'm working. They just think I'm over there having a ball. So when I do get these checks in, I'm like, you see, this is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So, Yeah. So that's my self-care. That's a long answer, man.
No, but it's a real answer. But that's real. There's no simple way to explain what self-care is for every person. Some people could just say, oh, just taking walks around the block, man. That's like that's what it does for me.
Yeah.
But a lot of times having that creator energy, that soul that's in you, that you want to put something out there, you do it, and it's like, like it can be stressful.
Yeah.
It can be a lot, and you're like, oh, this isn't right. It could be anxiety inducing, but it can also be that moment when you're getting out and it's therapeutic. Your hand just on the canvas and doing what you do when you and you letting it flow. It's like, like that's that that's that exhale moment.
Absolutely, and especially and here's another big thing about self-care. What I learned to do is because there was at one point where I was creating art just to upload it. So I was creating it just for likes. Like, all right, I'm gonna draw this. They gonna love this. Post it tomorrow. It was like somebody dropped a brick in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody. So they used to bum me out, man. And I was like, yo, what are you making art for? Are you making art for these people, or are you making art for you? So what I started to do is I just started to create, and just stockpile myself and not post it. And that ended up just feeling amazing because I didn't feel like I was living my life or living on the edge for this life, for this drawing is going to do this. Like I just got stuff and I was just drawing it. I'm gonna put this up. I might release it one day if I feel like, sharing. But that in itself was like a big thing for me. And it just had to remind me like, bro, you came from a time where you didn't need online validation for you to know you were dope. You know what I'm saying? The new generation, and this is why I kind of feel bad for them, is they really hinge on the likes. Like my daughter, she's 25. She's an artist. She comes to me in tears sometimes because she might have posted a painting and she didn't get a lot of likes from. I'm like, yo, but it's hard for me because this is all they grew up in this culture. You know, so they grew up. So it's hard to be like, look, you don't need nobody to say. Because I had my whole life, people always supported me. I always had people, teachers, my mom, my family. I always had this support, so I never really longed for that. But nowadays, it's just like people need that validation, like fans. They know you love that artwork. I love it. I want it. you're dope. If they don't get that, I'm nothing. I must suck. Like, it's really sad.
It is like a lot of people will do it for the likes of, or as the saying was going, they're doing it for the gram and
Right.
all that and everything. And yeah, it's a point where it is like there was a time I don't like social media. I can't. I actually, if it was a shack, I would have burned it down years ago. I just don't care for it, just because of everything that it makes people think and see and feel. And
My profile picture.
the profile picture though is dope. That is almost that is can almost validate all of social media.
That's how I feel on it, because when I put that up there, what it justifies for me is I hate being on here, but I have a book that I need to promote, so I have to be here. So while I'm here, I'm like, Jesus, like, why am I here?
You have to look at it like it's a tool. That's how.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can see. Because at times, like there are times when I'll put up a show and I might not be feeling it. And somebody will like, oh, okay, cool, or somebody will, and okay, fine. But then people will say, hey, man, I dug your show, what have, and then I go, I don't care about this, that, what have you, because yeah, maybe I'm not doing that, but my goal is to put you over. My goal is to make sure that you, even though my platform is small, my goal is to put whoever's on here on that platform and say, hey, this book is out there, and to give that person some type of platform to say, hey, my book is out here. This is what I like. To not just see you as a creator and an artist, a writer, what have you, but to see you as a person. And this is what they do. This is how they feel. This is real life human beings. And plus, they created this really incredible book or mural or whatever it is,
Right.
and to put it out there. So I started looking at it like it's not about you, it's about that other person. That's why you started doing this. Like I don't expect tomorrow to be like on IGN or something like that reviewing comics or what have you. If they did, cool, I'll take that check. But I'm gonna keep talking about the indies that are out here and people who are doing these great things, because that's what's important to me.
Right. Exactly.
And you have to, because it will break you if you're thinking of, oh, I only got this many likes. Don't think that at all. Don't. Most of social media is a joke. It's a scam. The people and they look great, they pose in certain ways. The art, that's not the first time that they drew that. They drew that about 1,000 times,
Right.
burn the other copies, and
Right.
that's the one that they like the most.
Right.
And they're not even happy with that. They're like 73% happy with what they just put up. So don't do that. But that's a very important thing. Do it for yourself, because you can see when you really love something.
Yeah.
And if you just put it up there just for that and you don't really love it, then it's not really art. That's not you. That's not your soul speaking. That's not your heart. It's not in it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So don't, because that will corrupt you. And it just, I could talk about that for years. So let's talk about something a little more pleasant.
Okay.
Comic books. Give me 3 of your comic book or graphic novel recommendations.
Okay. Well, first is going to be ElfQuest.
Ooh.
And ElfQuest is probably the most.
Right.
ElfQuest is probably the most influential book like ever to me, next to Brother Man. But ElfQuest, yeah, I'm not gonna get into depth. Okay, ElfQuest, because that'll be a whole subject.
I'll have you on again to actually give me in-depth comic book recommendations from you.
Okay. My next one will be Ad Astra in Africa, which is this was a story. This was a graphic novel by Barry Windsor Smith. He actually it was a story he wrote for Storm that Marvel rejected. So he took the story and made a different story out of it with a character that looks just like Storm. But the book is totally in black and white. So that's why I think he's able to get away with it, because she's not black with the white hair.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so the story he was supposed, it actually ended up being for the issue X-Men number 198, which is the homage cover I did. If you look on my page,
Yeah.
Right. So that issue
Loved
was
it.
the arc. That issue was the arc that he did that book from, that Marvel rejected. So he took it and did it somewhere else. So that's also another great one. Ad Astra in Africa. That's what it's called. And I'm gonna say currently a book that I'm reading now that I'm loving is Batman Gotham, Gargoyle of Gotham by Raphael Grumpa.
I think I saw you post a picture of it, and I was like, "Wait, what the hell?"
It's incredible.
It threw me off. I was like, "Oh,
yeah.
Okay."
He's his artwork, because I'm the type of person where I can't read it if the art isn't good. If I don't like the art, I can't read it. Like I don't care how good I've heard the writing is. So the guy Raphael Grumpa, he's just, if I could trade how I draw for his style.
No, don't, no,
I
no,
would.
no,
I would.
no,
I would.
no, 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 no. We need your style.
Man,
We need that.
I think about it, but he this book right here, like I was already a fan, but this book right here is this next level as far as just of course the artwork, his perspective on Batman. It's just a great book.
What's it about?
It's basically just about I'm not gonna tell you, man.
Oh, damn! All right, damn.
But it's
all
good.
right.
Just read it. But
My fault.
but it's closer to I'd say like the Batman, the last movie that just came out with Rob Pattinson, like that.
Oh,
like that tone. But
okay, you got me.
just check it out. I don't want to spoil it, but it's really. I mean, it's only one issue out so far, so that's the only one that I've read. But just check it out if you get a chance. But
Okay. All right. So that one I have to, because I'm trying to, like, right now. I have to finish reading the new Wonder Woman that came out by Tom King.
Okay.
I have to. I know there's a new series, the third chapter in the story of Abbott from Boom.
Okay.
I think this might be year 1979 they're doing. I think maybe. I think that's coming out tomorrow. And there's so many things I'm reading. The three that always hit me. Excellence.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Excellence hit me in a way just because of that. The story just boils down to a parent and child.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is just like fodder, and it's just that story just hits me so much. Invincible.
Kari's artwork is just ridiculous.
He's a monster. I sometimes I wish I could have each of you artists draw one character, and it's just a battle. Just like an art battle, like your own character, or whatever, doesn't matter. Just one character, just an art battle. I wish I could see that. I would lose my mind. That would be like War World, just all y'all just battling like that.
That'd be crazy.
I have to check out that Batman though, because I really enjoyed the Batman, the Rob Pass. I really enjoyed that movie.
Me too.
You making me want to watch it. I haven't watched it since it was in theaters, because sometimes I like to wait a year or 2 years to watch a movie, then watch it again, and it hits me, and I'm like, oh yeah. And that movie was there for me.
Yeah, the second viewing is even crazy. You just notice so much more on the second viewing.
Mm-hmm. And it was before it came out, I remember reading The Long Halloween. Right. I hadn't read it, and I read it. I meant to only read like the first couple of chapters or the first couple of issues that day, and I ended up reading the whole thing. I didn't even realize it, and I was at the end, and I was like, "Wait, I read the whole. I only meant to read," and I was like, "So that meant something to me. If I just kept reading it, I didn't stop. That meant something to me. I have the sequel. I just haven't read it yet. The Haunted Night, I think, is a sequel.
The Haunted Night, okay.
Yeah, the Haunted Night is a sequel.
Shout out to Greg Burnham, man, for getting that.
Yo,
I was like, okay.
Okay, yeah, that came out Tuesday. Yeah, today. Yeah. I have to. I mean, look. He like one of the most talented cats out there too. I mean, just incredible. I mean, Tuskegee Airs is just incredible to begin with, and just to flourish and to grow. And he also did. Who did he write for Milestone when they had that?
Was it
that issue? I'm trying.
Blood Syndicate? Wasn't Blood Syndicate? Was it?
For some reason, I'm thinking it was a single character, like either Static or, but I could be wrong. Because I'm wrong very often.
Yeah, me too, man. I don't know. But we know he did something for Milestone, and that's bad.
But I'm gonna cut that out though, because nobody need to know that. I'm gonna cut that out. Nobody need to know that. All right, so we've talked about comics. We've talked about the incredible Kickstarter for DayBlack Reparations. Click the link in the episode description so you can go and pledge to this, folks. I don't know why I don't know why I got to keep repeating myself, but I will, because you need to do it.
Also, now a Kickstarter project that they love. Just found
yes. I mean, we loved it. Now they love it. Now everybody loves it. That's how it works out, folks. What's a restaurant that you love? And what's your favorite dish there?
Yeah, my favorite restaurant is the spot. I'm in Atlanta. Okay. It used to be my favorite restaurant. COVID made it change. It was a sushi buffet spot, and everybody would go there. But when COVID hit, they cut the buffet out. Even though COVID is done, they still some people just stuck to the ways they started doing once COVID was here. So they just they're like, hey, we're just gonna leave it like it is. And I loved it so much because sushi is my favorite food. I love sushi because there's so much that I haven't had yet that I want to try. There's like so many different types of rolls and so many different. So it's not like you're gonna ever have the same thing, you know. I mean, of course, if you order the same thing, but it's just a wide range of flavors and different types of food that I haven't tried. And yeah, Rusan's in Atlanta. It's still there. The sushi buffet is not there, but I still haven't found a restaurant that has replaced my love for it. So I got to go with that.
Okay.
For the buffet, you know.
Okay. You know what? Next time you're in New York, do you enjoy ramen also?
I do. Big time.
I know a spot.
Okay.
You let me know beforehand.
It'll be definitely the Schomburg next year, you know.
Then that's a standing account right there. Okay. Schomburg next year, ramen. And it'll be cold too.
This time comes
I'm gonna come to the table. I'm gonna come to the table.
Icebreaker right here.
Yeah, this is it. Which is funny because we've like spoken in like DMs before,
right?
But I was still like, yeah, no, I'm gonna just go this way. I'm gonna just turn this way.
What's that? Oh, okay.
Because every time your head was down, I was like, yeah, this is my time to just kind of tiptoe past. I was like, and it gets so crazy packed in there too. I was like, nobody's gonna notice me.
I'm not gonna lie, I got afraid for my life for a second right there because we were behind those tables and it was just like walls of people. Like I swear I couldn't even see the ceiling at one point. They were just like they were literally pulsating. The crowd was pulsating.
And it gets so packed and tight in there.
Man, it was a great problem because it was just like money, talking, giving my spill, money, spill, money.
Mm-hmm.
More people want the same thing over and over again. But hey, that's a great problem, man. You know,
it's beautiful to see how it's grown. So I remember like the first few times I went, it was one day and it would be like, you know, a little bit. Then it got so crazy and so huge, and they end up having it to be 2 days, and it was just so packed there. So I'm waiting for it to be 3 days now. Yeah. And that's again a great problem, and for everyone to come out and to support and to flourish, and they'll have like, you know, the panels and the cosplay is just beautiful out there, and everybody, I love seeing it, and I love seeing all these artists who don't normally come to New York come there for that show, and you go up to Harlem and you see these incredible people, and it's just a beautiful thing to have all of you there, and for it to be good problems.
And especially when you meet all these people you've been friends with online, be cool in real life.
Yep.
Because that's always the fear. Like you meet somebody and they're like jerk in real life, but everybody that there did not disappoint, man. Like everybody was cool, you know.
Yeah, it's one of the most beautiful things possible to have everybody is there and vibing. And it's awesome. And sometimes, you know, like, you know, group of y'all get together, go dinner afterwards and just talk and chop it up because you don't get to see each other except online. So you take the opportunity to not just network business wise, but also on a human level. Right. And you're just like, oh, I love this place, you know, going back and forth, and everybody at the end of the thing, you know, trying to buy each other books before they go out and say, hey, yo, save me a copy of this, what have you. Then at the end, I think that's beautiful, man. So yeah, look, next year, Schomburg, it should be cold when they have it too, I believe. So that ramen is going to hit just right. And they do have sushi there as well.
Oh yeah, okay.
Bet. You heard it here first, folks. I'm saying Cross, Palmaris, their ramen connection. That's it. Sushi is down. That's it. That's it, folks. So on that note, Keef, thank you so very much for being. I truly appreciate you, brother. Seriously, you're one of those people who, like I said, I geek out on. So for me to even be like, you know what, let me just shoot my shot for the show. And if he says no, I wasn't expecting him to say yes anyway. So
quit playing.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And you say that, I was like, yeah, bet, that's great, folks. A project that we love and they love, everybody loves, on Kickstarter is DayBlack Reparations. The link is in the episode description. Go support, check out all the great rewards, get the book as well, please. Get the other stuff. You want a t-shirt, you want a mug, but don't be that person. Don't be that person. Don't be
that person, man. Yeah.
Don't be that person who does that.
Don't do it.
Don't. It's tacky. It's tacky. Go check it out, but please get the books also. The story is incredible, the art is beautiful. If I am to recommend a t-shirt, I would say the Baldwin t-shirt, just because, but you can't go wrong with any of Keef's art. That's the beauty of it.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
He's just one of the most, like I said, one of the most prolific cats out there. And truthfully, you're out here doing it. You're making us all proud. We love your stuff, and thank you. Thank you for bringing your art to all of us. Seriously.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro.
All right. On that note, folks, do you have any last words for the folks, Keef?
No, go check out the book. Like it, share it. support it. I appreciate y'all.
There you go. Oh, the other thing about Kickstarter is if you pledge today, they don't take the money out today. So you have some time. So you can pledge and not worry about your account, because I know money's tight. I'm not mad at you for that. But you can pledge and they won't take it out until the project is completely funded and it's the last day of the campaign. So you're safe. So if you don't have it on you right now, pledge within your means, obviously. And then when the time comes, it'll come out. So it won't be the day that you pledge, unless you pledge on the very last day and it's been, fulfilled.
Right.
But so you don't have to worry about it, because I saw some people in the comments about it, like going, "Oh, I ain't got it on me." Don't worry. You can pledge today. They won't take it out until it is fulfilled and it's the last day of the campaign. So you're safe. So go pledge a little bit. Check out the tiers. A lot of great stuff. You can even do add-ons, like kind of create your own tiers as well, your own gift tiers, and awesome. All right. So, folks, once again, great show. Keef, thank you so very much for being here. I truly appreciate it. You now have a reserved seat here.
Right on.
There's only a few people that have that. You're one of those people. If you want to just chop it up about horror, because I do plan on having a horror episode this month, possibly after New York Comic Con. I mean, if you want to come on, because we can talk all manners of horror, from vampires to werewolves to what have you. And we will have some fun.
Right on.
All right.
Okay, thanks for the invite.
Thank you so much, very much, folks. Have a great day. And as always, do the best you can with what you got, because in the end, that's all that you get. And that's all I got to say. All right. Y'all have a good one. Peace. We're out.
Peace.
See you.